What's up, everybody? Coming off a big-time playoff victory over the Green Bay Packers. It's Bears Over Beers presented by Second City Gridiron. Ryan Drosty, Brian Orangechuck. Brian, what a sweet weekend, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, bro. I don't know if it gets any better than what we've experienced, at least, not in the last 20 years, maybe.
Unreal.
That was fantastic on so many levels. And hey, Tremaine Edmonds said it in the mic'd up video they just released today. Team of Destiny. I mean, we might get to that in this show. I'm not sure, but the crazy thing, man. And I thought I might say this later, but here it is. We're still not playing our best ball.
I know it. It's crazy.
And if we keep winning, that's all that matters. But if we can play complete football all four quarters, it's really going to be tough to beat us. But I'm excited, as you can tell. How about you, man? How are you doing?
Oh man, I've been riding high all week long. This has been incredible. What a change in emotions. I think we might have texted about this right after the game, but it's you watch that game on Saturday and you're thinking, God, I want to do the show right now.
Right.
We gotta wait till Wednesday to talk about it. So, At this point, it's been 4 days. We'll still touch on it a little bit. And then obviously we're looking forward here to the Los Angeles Rams in the divisional playoffs. But I mean, how can you not feel great? We talked about on the show last week. It was just like, it felt like this was a real chance to get that whole Packers monkey off our back, finally change the narrative. Yes, we've split with them the last 2 years, but to send them home in the playoffs, Brian, for the first time since 1941, incredible. I mean, how can you not be feeling great? I've been basking in my Bears glory all week.
Yeah, me too. And we were tempted to go on the air on Sunday because it was a Saturday game.
Yeah.
And alas, we've simmered down some since then. But we're excited to hang out with you all and crack one open. So let's see.
Let us know if you're drinking, by the way, in the chat. We got Carl checking in. He says it's time to remind Stafford what a January game in the NFC North feels like. And another friend in the chat agreeing with him. Brian, what do you got on tap tonight, man? What are you drinking?
Oh, man, I'm excited about this one. Go to my new Bear fridge. Get out this bad boy. It's a barrel-aged Imperial Stout called a Narwhal.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even a derivative or a cousin, akin to a ram, but a more lethal and bear-like version. Now, check this out. Deep in our barrel room, it says, out of light's reach, our legendary Narwhal Imperial Stout rests in bourbon barrels for nearly a year. After aging, it emerges anew, rich with notes of oak, vanilla, and coconut, layered onto the stout's malt flavors of dark chocolate and espresso. Enjoy this beast of a beer. 11.9% right here. This bad boy is what we do, man. Winter ale at its finest, with a little bite. And we got to bring out the heavy stuff, which is why you might see, I don't know if you've seen the numbers on this jersey I'm donning, but oh boy, I got Butkus today.
Oh yes,
Love
to see it.
We need some monsters back, man. We need some monsters back on defense, make some plays. It's been a minute since we've had some game-changing turnovers, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And we need some nastiness. We need some game-changing turnovers this week and to be a beast of a team like this beer right here. But what about you, man?
I love it. Almost a 12% beer for Brian tonight. He's going to be feeling real good by the end of this show. We got Carl in the chat drinking a Revolution Brewing Anti-Hero. Solid beer. Been to that brewery a couple times. Good stuff. We've got another friend in the chat. Nothing No One Ever is the screen name. He says, got some Catch Hell Anchor Barrel Age Imperial Stout from Half Acre. Oh, yeah. Half Acre. Another great Chicago brewery.
Sounds similar to this one right here. Mm-hmm. Nothing No One Ever.
I've been to that brewery as well. A solid place. Well, Brian, I actually got 2 beers in here. I guess if it got real crazy, I could dip into both of them. Probably not, because they're both kind of thicker beers. Last week I drank the King Sue from Toppling Goliath, and that turned into a victory. And I was thinking about drinking it again, just out of tradition. And then I thought, do I need to take a shot of something good because we won a playoff game? And so then I brought in the Eagle.
Ooh.
I was thinking about that. And then I realized we did that show on New Year's Eve, and I got the peanut butter cup porter from Confluence Brewing, which I'll show off here in the camera. Great can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I said that night I was going to have one, and I never did. I have still yet to try this. So I ended up going with this since I haven't tried it yet. So also, Brian, it's a thicker, darker beer, just like you. We need that D line to play nice and thick this weekend.
Yeah, sure. Stout for sure.
Yeah, nice and stout.
Like portly old men.
Portly old men, like the porter here. So
Yes.
yeah, that's what I have, and I'm looking forward to trying this because I haven't had a good peanut butter porter in a very, very long time. So I am pouring it out right now. I can smell the peanut butter cups right away. So there it is. I got our friend here, Carl, in the chat, dude. I got a Revolution Brewing glass tonight. I failed. I didn't get my Bears Over Beers glass, but it's Revolution. So cheers to you, sir.
Yeah, cheers. I will say that victory beer tastes so good. Funny story. So, gosh, after the Steelers game, I had to step in for Jacob Infante for the post-game show. I did a fun show after a sweet win. That was before we really started. We had really beaten many of the good teams, and we kind of handed them a solid loss. I did the show, whatever, forgot about it. A couple weeks ago, my daughters and nephew burst into the room I was in, and they were like, "Oh, victory beer tastes so good, huh, Dad?" And I was like, "What are you girls talking about?" And they Googled or something me and found that show. I was like, "You can't be watching that," because I was really excited in that one, and there might have been some curses dropped that day, but point being, victory beer does taste so good. It just brings out the notes of flavor in the after a victory, after a W.
Yeah. Oh man, I love it. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Your kids are watching the show. I once had my oldest daughter in the office when I was doing an episode of Top Rope Nation, and it wasn't me, but it was a co-host, and I let her listen kind of live with one of my headphones, and she was counting how many times one of my co-hosts was swearing on the show. So it's been a joke ever since. I feel like my camera is lagging. Is it lagging for you? It's lagging on my end for sure.
It is.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I may rejoin the stream here, Brian, if you can talk a little Bears for a second, because I want to cut some shorts on this show, for our YouTube page, and that one is not going to work if my camera is lagging. So I will be right back. It's on Brian for solo for 60 seconds. Are you ready? Here you go. I am leaving right now.
See you soon.
All right.
Okay, guys, it's now time for me to tell you all my deepest, darkest secrets about Ryan. Just kidding. So we got a couple barrel-aged stouts out there drinking. You know what I saw today on an ad that popped up is a non-alcoholic bourbon. It did pique my interest because, especially with my age and these late night games, I dip into some bourbon every now and then when I'm watching the games, and obviously I have a beer or so. And you feel a little bit more the next day. So has anybody tried any non-alcoholic bourbons before? I'd be curious to hear what you thought about that. Appreciate you guys joining us. Excited to get into this week's game. You know what? A lot of people have been talking a lot about the Rams and their potent offense, but I actually think we match up well against their offense. We'll kind of get into that. It looks like I'm lagging now, maybe. Am I?
What's going on with this stream here? Mine
check.
Mine just started lagging too. It looked good when I got on the stream, and now I'm definitely lagging.
You're lagging as well. I think
yours looks fine to me.
Okay.
Actually. Let us know in the chat what's going on. This is great live podcasting right now. As we figure out the tech problems. Maybe it's this webcam software I'm running. And I feel like my stream is like flashing too. What is going on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I'm going to try one more thing. I will be right back. Bear with us, everybody.
Yeah.
Pun
I'll say
intended.
this. Our technology is not used to being inactive or active, in motion, in use this time of year.
That's
It's
true.
not. It's retired. It's hibernating this time of year, and it's getting some extra work. We did not put some extra work in during training camp with these tools we have, like the Bears did, and that might be the thing. But if you're experiencing any technical issues, or if you can tell that we are, let us know. But yes, we'll start with the Green Bay game as we always do. We kind of pivot from one week to the next, and we start with that game. And I don't know if anyone here has watched or read rather my day after notes, but I put those up on Windy City Gridiron the day after every game. And I actually liked the way we started this one against the Packers from an offensive standpoint. I thought Caleb was dialed in. I thought he was accurate. I liked the play calls. We marched down the field. I think we took off like 8 minutes off the clock that opening drive. I obviously wish we would have ended in a touchdown, but getting points on the board, opening drive, we had that momentum. and then the defense just kind of laid an egg and continued to lay eggs. And then the offense kind of matched with it. And I know Ben said he thought Caleb played a great game throughout. And for the most part, I would agree. But, those turnovers really hurt. And I know that at least one of them looked like a miscommunication between he and Burden. But, I can't say that, he had the strongest game all 60 minutes. But what I was saying, Ryan, before you joined us again, I really liked the way we started on offense. I thought that was an encouraging takeaway because we have not been starting fast this season.
Yeah.
And we seemed on point. Caleb was accurate early, which my day after notes have been indicating he's not been, and he was. And so I liked that. I thought I liked the way they used Luther early on. He kind of showed up right away. Obviously, Loveland had a huge game. But one of my big takeaways from that game that I hope we correct this week is it just seemed like the Packers had more intensity and urgency and were playing with more fire, especially the Packers defense. And the offense was running up and down the field on us, so it didn't quite matter. But it didn't seem like we had matched their intensity, especially after that first drive. Edgerrin Cooper, the nice young linebacker, I believe he's from Texas A&M. Stud. I've highlighted him this year on one of my other articles, I think a couple times. But he was just a monster in pass coverage, and it just didn't seem like we were matching their intensity in a playoff game, at least that whole first half. Obviously, we came back second half, but like we said, man, we've still not played a full game, and you wonder if that's going to come back and bite us. But I would love to see it. I would love to see that intensity, and obviously we flip a switch in the second half, especially the end of the game, fourth quarter. But you got to wonder, why can't we do that to start?
Yeah.
So. It's been a culmination. This whole season has been just building off of one another. And so I hope we take some of these lessons, playoff lessons, right? Like you heard Montez Sweat say today, he's having the most fun he's had his whole career right now, playing playoff football. And Kevin Byard, same thing. And everybody's talking about how, this time of year in the playoffs, every team you're playing is great. You got an MVP caliber quarterback in Matt Stafford, an MVP caliber receiver in Puka Nacua. They're gonna be, one hell of a challenge. I dare say our toughest challenge all year. But I do think we match up well against them, and we'll get to that. But what were some of your takeaways, Ryan, now that you look like you're back with us from that Packers?
I'm here, but it's still lag. It was fine while you were talking. I was kind of like moving around testing the lag, and I can tell my video. It's throwing me off because when I look at the video, it's a second or two behind.
So look at my
going
video
on.
only. Just look at me and the camera because we can hear you loud and clear. So we want to hear your thoughts. So talk to us about this Packers game and the third rendition of it. What you thought of the game, overall rivalry, anything.
Yeah, I was really surprised too that we didn't come out hot because I figured the way that Detroit game went, the Bears would come out angry and ready to show that they could play a full game and get back on the horse, so to speak. And they did not. They came out I thought Caleb looked pretty good early. But obviously the defense wasn't holding it down well enough. There's some mishaps, like the route with Luther that could have possibly been a touchdown that wasn't a touchdown. But Caleb turns the ball over 2 times, but they were basically like punts, so it didn't really hurt him. But I think that first one was the costliest because you look at the replay and you're like, man, if Luther comes towards the center of the field, that's probably a touchdown. So, I was certainly disappointed, as that first half played out. I wanted to see a lot more from the D line. They came to play in the second half. I was getting real down on Dennis Allen because I felt like he continued to do things that were not working whatsoever. But you got to give him credit because he made those adjustments. He sent more pressure in the second half. It actually worked. Kyler Gordon getting minutes, Tyreek Stevenson getting minutes. That definitely changed the trajectory of the game. I don't know if Kyler was on a snap count. I haven't heard anything about that. It didn't make much sense to me that he wasn't playing in the first half because once he went in, the game just totally started to change. And Tyreek had a really good, I saw he had a really high coverage grade from PFF for his defensive coverage. And, he definitely helped as well. And so the fact that we're getting CJ back this week too, it looks like full participant for the walkthrough today, at least. I feel way more confident in the secondary if Tyreek's going to get some minutes, if Kyler, is just one game better after coming back from the injury and if he can work in CJ too. But I mean, there's no way to skirt around it. That first half was incredibly disappointing. I wasn't even like, it was weird emotions. I wasn't even feeling like I was angry, like watching it. Usually when the Bears are losing the Packers, I'm mad. I was not even mad. I was just like, well, they're getting their butts kicked and they deserve to get their butts kicked. I don't know what to say. I was watching with my dad and I was like, we were just kind of watching it in silence. I was thinking in the back of my mind that we could potentially make a comeback. Like it wasn't totally out of the question of being down by 18. They weren't looking like they could do it. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, maybe. But more so, I was thinking, God, I hope they at least make this score respectable because I was worried they were going to lose by 30 points. But man, that defense was so critical to what happened in the second half. And I'm always hard on Montez Sweat. But he was all over the place in the second half. A lot of it didn't show up on the stat sheet, but he was getting in the backfield. He was hitting the quarterback. He was affecting the trajectory of the passes. And, obviously Caleb was great. Obviously Colston was great. The run game wasn't as good as I expected, especially given what the Ravens did to the Packers a couple of weeks ago. I was expecting a huge game on the ground. But in the end, the passing game did what it needed to do. Caleb spread the ball around, but Loveland was the go-to guy again. And then, just Caleb dropping dimes all over the place. So for you, what you were talking about, the Bears not playing a complete game this year. What is the game where they've been closest to playing a complete game? Was it the Cowboys game? It seemed like they controlled that one start to finish.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because we had a number of big plays, which kind of negate a score of, just a thriving offense when you're just getting big chunks. Mm-hmm. You can hate me on that if you want, but I just like a methodical, well-executed drive more than I like a flea flicker. And for a touchdown, 70 yards. Plus, they lost CeeDee Lamb that day. And without CeeDee, the Cowboys are different. I think our most complete game, Ryan.
Yeah.
was at Philadelphia.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I think that game on offense, we ran the hell out of the ball against a stout defensive line. Caleb did what he had to do. Beautiful touchdown in the wind to win the game to Cole Kmet with decent coverage. Mm-hmm. And our defense just dominated. And here's the interesting thing, fellas and ladies. You talk about Kyler Gordon getting more snaps, and it seemed like he was on a snap count in the first half, and he played the whole second half, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Which we talked about leading up to this. We are 3-0 when he plays. When in the games he's played and finished, we've won all 3, now 4. But one of those games, my boy, was against the Eagles, which was the only time this season he has played with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That Eagles game is the only game that they have both been on the field with our secondary. And that's important because we don't get as much pressure up front, so our run D kind of suffers. But both of those guys are stout from the slot, in the run, and in the short passing game. They are kind of X factors. They're both kind of like, jacks, where they're wild cards. And I really like what they can bring to our defense this week. And it's going to be fascinating to me, y'all, to see how the chess match of McVay and Dennis Allen and Ben Johnson. And, the Rams like to run a lot of 13 personnel, 3 tight ends, and pound the ball. They're one of the best running teams in the league. How are we gonna adapt to that? And because he likes to then put Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams in different places, he likes moving Nacua line them up all over the field. I think that because we've got these X factors that are stout against the run in Kyler and CJ, I think we're in, you could call it dime a lot this week, because I think they want one of those guys on Puka when he's, kind of going wild in the backfield or jet sweeping or something like that. Plus, we're down TJ Edwards. So It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But we do need to have some pressure on Stafford. When he's one of those guys, you don't get pressure on him, he will pick you apart. So, I hope he can force some turnovers again. Soldier Field, having it in our home field. We talked about that. The weather is going to be one of the maybe top 10 coldest games.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see the tweet this week? And I would totally give this person credit. It's been floating around now. I'm sorry, I don't know it off the top of my head, but the Rams have not played a game anything colder than 45 degrees all season. It was against the Panthers. Yeah, I'm in Western North Carolina. It's about 20 degrees colder here than it is in Charlotte, which is kind of, central eastern North Carolina. That's where the Carolina Panthers play. It's the coldest game the Rams have played, 45 degrees. Anybody listening to this that's from Illinois or Midwest, 45 degrees is short sleeves weather.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's okay, great. Our kids can finally go outside and play weather.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, if it's going to be 10 degrees, feels like negative whatever, no. Baby girl, you're staying inside. Let's go color. Let's go play with some Play-Doh. We're not going outside. So huge difference there. Shout out to all the parents listening to us on this Wednesday night. It's fine Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
Divisional round of the playoffs. Can we just cheers to that real quick, guys? We just kind of skipped over that wild card victory. Cheers to divisional round.
I'm still screwing with my webcam. I got a different one on. This is my computer camera. It doesn't look as good, but
I know you're cheersing me anyway.
Dude, look what's happening here. If I go to my actual webcam, we're getting way derailed. I apologize, people. This is bot. StreamYard gives me problems sometimes.
Yeah. But
look at this.
It's looking good.
It zooms in on my mouth. I don't know what's going on here, you guys. I know if you're listening to the podcast feed, you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? We are having all kinds of tech problems tonight. I don't know what is happening. And I'm a huge techie, so this kind of thing is going to bother me, and it's making it hard for me to think, but I'm doing my best.
But at least it's highlighting your beautiful blossoming beard that's coming in right now.
I did trim it the other day, Brian. It's, it is what it is.
What do your students think?
Oh, they like it.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, Mr. Drosty, keep it going. Speaking of students, I got some Packers fans in my class.
Okay.
And Brian, they were giving it to me after we lost that first game to Green Bay. So, I had to pay it back a little bit this week.
Oh, yeah. Of course. I mean, you need to make them cry. Send them home.
I had the cheese grater shirt on.
Oh, did you?
I had, yeah. I had a background on my projector of Caleb shredding the cheese.
I saw that one.
Yep. And I played Bear Down Chicago Bears when they left class that day. I mean, there's just a couple of kids in there. There's Bears fans too, but you gotta. And then I told him, hey man, it's nothing personal. It's just part of sports.
Yeah.
But I said I didn't get to celebrate when we beat you guys over Christmas break, man. So I had to lay it in a little bit. But no, I was gonna say with the TJ Edwards injury, obviously it sucks. We're high on TJ, but kind of like don't feel bad about DeMarco getting in there a little more. I'm gonna be honest with you. That dude has made the most of his minutes, and he's looked like when he's been in there, he's looked like our best linebacker, to be honest with you. So I mean, it's the left tackle position is one I'm the most concerned about. I'm not as concerned about the linebacking core at all because DeMarco was so good when he was playing when TJ was out.
Yeah, I agree. On defense, I'm concerned about the health of our corners because now I think the cool thing about this is, Davante Adams, he started off with the Packers. So when Jalen Johnson was a rookie, he went up against Davante early, and he learned a little bit the hard way through Davante Adams. Well, he's mastered his craft at this point. Neither one of them, Davante because he's older, Jalen because he's still coming back from injury, neither one of them are as explosive and athletically prime as they have one spin. But both of them are bigger for a corner and receiver, stronger, and very heady players. And I believe Davante Adams led the league this year in receiving touchdowns. So he is going to be tested in the end zone. I'm really fascinated to see that matchup this week. And then on the other side, I would love for Kyler to shadow Puka, but he's not 100%. So I think Stevenson matches up a little bit better on him than Nahshon Wright.
Yeah.
But how those guys, like I was saying, the DBs, the corners, their health is more of a concern to me than our linebackers. I would agree with the left tackle. Who do you think is going to start? Who do you want to start at left tackle?
I did see you. Was it in the comments on Windy City? I saw you talking about this, that you were talking about Braxton Jones possibly stepping in. I think it's going to be Theo. But it seemed like Ben was kind of cagey when he was talking about it in that first press conference this week, because they asked him about the injury, and I'm trying to remember the way he worded it, but he said it in like a cagey way where you could take it that, I don't really know who's going to play. We got a couple of guys back there who can play. So he didn't really sell that it was for sure going to be Theo. It's just the fact that he's played more recently makes me think it's going to be him. Yeah. Are you still feeling Braxton, or have you shifted on that?
No, that was more for a conversation starter on Windy City.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Theo. I think Braxton he's going to be activated though. And I do think he gets into rotation. Like, I don't think Theo's going to play 100% of the snaps. I'd be surprised. I think they want to get Braxton back because when healthy, Braxton is arguably our best left tackle on the team this season.
Yeah.
So even though he's got his shortcomings, but I think early this season he wasn't healthy. We've seen him play a lot better over the years. So I think they're going to get him some game action, but I think Theo starts. I think part of that is because we need to establish the run this week, and Theo is one hell of a run blocker. He's also a little bit better against bull rushes, although his pass block grades have been very poor, and that's typically been with a lot of help, whether it be scheme or personnel, chips and whatnot, assists. So that is a concern, and that brings up a good point. Like TJ Edwards, he'll come back from a broken leg. He'll be here by training camp, no problem. Ozzie might not play next season altogether, let alone until, at the earliest, second, third quarter of the season. It's a brutal injury for a big guy. And to happen in the wild card game after a strong rookie season, I just feel terrible for him. And honestly, that really throws a wrench into our plans this offseason. Because we don't have a young ascending starter at left tackle right now. We might not have him at all next season. So now we have to plan accordingly. And he was playing so well, we almost thought we could just kind of, at least I thought that we could just stick to the defensive line this offseason. But now we got to focus on left tackle. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, man. I mean, he had been a real find, all the concern we had about him moving to the left side, and then, how well he did as far as like moving to the left side, playing well, seemingly solidifying that spot moving forward. And then it was like the third to last play or something. I mean, it was right at the end. Yeah, super depressing, horrible injury. Luckily he has, his age on his side, but that injury isn't like a 50-some% success rate coming back from it. I mean, it's not great. Huge bummer. We were both really high on him, and to happen right at the end of the game like that, it's horrible. So yeah, I mean, they're going to have some contingency plans. They have to look in the draft. They're going to have to possibly look, free agency. I don't know if I doubt they would trade, but who knows? We'll have to see. But yeah, I wasn't thinking about really any moves on the offensive side in the offseason other than maybe some depth pieces, late in the draft. So now that's definitely going to complicate things. So we'll see.
How you doing over there, man? How's your
I still don't know why my camera is going to this default zoom in. So this is going to work for now. I think I would have to restart.
Take another drink. You need to take another drink. Cheers.
Cheers. This beer is really good. I am digging it. Let me just show this again one more time. Here it is. Peanut butter cup porter. Solid stuff.
Yeah, mine is very solid too. 12%. I think I'm already feeling it, y'all. So forgive me in advance.
I've had that one, Brian, years ago that you're drinking.
Yeah, it's a great beer. I forgot to mention, it's Sierra Nevada, which I've highlighted a number of times this season. This is a seasonal drink. Obviously, it's super potent. If you go to the brewery, you get it in a small boy, and this comes in a nice 16-ounce pint.
Yeah. So I think we're both agreeing in this game. If we get down early, it's not going to be like Green Bay. We're going to be in deep trouble, man. I don't see a comeback happening against the Rams. We have both thought the Rams kind of all year, the class of the NFC. Although, the last several weeks, they haven't been what they were. I'm thinking maybe they peaked a little early. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And, the Panthers beat them once, not that long ago, and took them to the wire this past weekend. What do the Panthers do? They run the ball.
Yeah.
They run the ball. I would argue to say our defense is better than theirs, the Panthers, but we don't have Derek Brown, and he is a freaking monster. He's a narwhal himself, that guy. And he dominated that game, but we need to run the ball. And so I think Theo starts. I would like to see us establish the run. That was the one thing that was really discouraging last week. Packers are not a great team on, when it comes to run defense, and they held their own.
Yeah.
We broke for a couple big runs in the second half, and it looked like we were close to breaking them in the first half. But by and large, they held up against us, and that was discouraging because the Rams have a better line, I'd say probably equal linebackers, maybe not quite as good linebackers, but better secondary in LA. So it'll be interesting. And dude, I'm at a point right now. Like my mind agrees with you, but my mind also disagrees with you because here's the 12% talking. Because when it comes to not being able to come back if we put ourselves in the hole, like in Caleb, I trust, bro. In Ben, I trust. In that offense, I trust. Like I feel like, and that's the thing, we still have weapons all over the field. They're all going to be back healthy. DJ Rome, who just came back last week, wasn't quite, hopefully he'll be back up to game speed a little bit more.
Yeah.
But Loveland and Komet, and by the way, just going back to that game a little bit, going to the intensity thing, both Komet and Loveland, I believe, I think even more, had drop passes after they got decked when they caught it. Like, we can't have that. Yeah. That's we gotta playoff football, hold on to the effing football in the playoff. And one of them, I think, could have been a fumble, but remember those, I think both of them were reviewed. We just can't have that. We have to match the intensity with attention. And I think it's gonna be a good game, but I don't fear us being down, but I think it's got to be within 10, 14 in that final quarter. If we're within that much, we're good. But yes, if we can play up to par, up to our abilities, then we should be winning at least right even with them. So it'll be interesting to see. But I do think an underappreciated aspect of our game was our special teams. How often do we talk about special teams on this show?
Yeah,
so, for sure. But not often. Getting Jalen Reeves, Maben, back. Just feel like with Edwards going down, that's gonna kind of, because it all trickles down. When you get an injury, then you got guys that are having to play, two ways, and you kind of want to avoid that, especially when you got depth issues. But special teams could be big. Now, obviously, Packers don't have a great special teams unit.
Yeah.
But it'll be big this week. So, I mean, I'm interested. I'm fascinated, man. They got 2 great running backs over there. Guys I'm really high on. Got 3 tight ends. Higbee just came back.
Yeah.
Stafford that's really cool because Caleb idolizes Stafford. That's really neat.
Yeah, he's talked about how, he just studies him.
Yeah.
He's been super complimentary in his press conference today. For me, the point I was making about the comebacks is that I'm just not as confident our defense can get the stops if we get down by multiple scores. With Green Bay, sure, Jordan Love is a solid quarterback. He's not Matthew Stafford, who's an MVP. And despite some of the weapons that Green Bay may have, they don't have Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. They got one really good running back. They don't got like the 2 that they have in Williams and Corum. The tight ends you mentioned. I'm just a little bit more worried that our understaffed defense could get the stops necessary to make the comeback.
And
I just think, and McVay, who's just a brilliant play caller. Yeah,
greater than LaFleur.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a whole nother added dimension. LaFleur having worked for him. And all this talk this week about how disrespectful Ben Johnson was to Matt LaFleur. Give me a freaking break. But, I do kind of wonder a little bit, with McVay having that relationship with LaFleur, maybe he wants to get a little justice for his friend. Who knows? That is a dimension to the drama here. I like pro wrestling. There's your storyline. There's your drama,
Hey, did you see that AI? That AI
with the handshake where
the handshake and all that drop kicks him.
Yeah, that was great.
It's hilarious.
There's all these. It's a weird thing because obviously with Green Bay, we talked about it last week. With Green Bay, you got the rivalry. Don't want them to end your season. Obviously, you want to win this game. longtime fans will maybe have it a little bit more for the Rams. We had some playoff games with them, beat them 40 years ago. It's just a weird thing where, like, I've seen Bears content creators and some of our staff members, making comments like, "Oh, there's Rams Twitter. Rams Twitter exists," because people feel like they don't just have like the diehard fan base like Green Bay and some of the other teams, and because of that, you don't have like the bad blood,
right?
And so it's just kind of a weird game in that regard. I feel like, to me, the drama isn't with the fan base; it's more with like how McVay feels about the LaFleur stuff and them having that relationship, and that's kind of in the background a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think there's any drama there. I think McVay, and he talked about this week, respects, even studies Ben and has over the years. Mm-hmm. I see a lot of McVay in Ben.
Yes,
honestly. Both former players that were hired young, very intense, great leaders of men, offensive, brilliant masterminds, and a lot of success early. And gosh, man, like, we both predicted this exact record, but neither of us predicted a deep playoff run. Mm-hmm. That said, the Rams are beatable. And the drama for me comes down to it's a divisional game at Soldier Field. We're the 2 seed. We're the home team in this playoff game, and we're the underdogs. Like, right there. Mm-hmm. And it's with due reason, bro. Mm-hmm. It's the number 1 offense in the league. Hall of Famer Matthew Stafford. Yeah. Hall of Famer Puka Nacua. Hall of Famer Devontae Adams. Sean McVay. He is the blueprint of all the coaches that have been hired after him. Teams have wanted to go after offensive masterminds. He is the blueprint.
Yeah.
And can we step up? Can we continue our season? Mm-hmm. We just let up, 38 points to Green Bay. It's reasonable to expect, like Alex Smith said, I wouldn't say 50 like he said this week. Reasonable to expect that we will let up that much, if not more, to a better offense. So the drama is the X's and O's this week, man. This is playoff football. I don't care about how many fans somebody has on Twitter. And let me just be the first to admit, like, I'm not all about that Twitter beef. Like that to me, that's just like, it's funny, like when you got somebody because they said something stupid, and then you come back and like, oh, how about, like, I get it. It doesn't matter to me. Like, watch the games. How does your team do? And both these teams are good. And no, they don't have great fans, but they got a great team. And the Packers got great fans, but what I heard from last weekend was it was all Bears fans anyway, as it should be in a playoff home game. So it doesn't matter. And one thing about the Rams, because they don't have as many, diehards, they moved around a bunch and this and that. And you always have the visitors that travel really well to their stadium because of a nice place. Everyone wants to go to California. Nice and warm, brand new stadium. Mm-hmm. They're not used to having crazy home field advantage anyway. They're always used to this sort of thing. I think the weather will play more of a factor. But, they're honestly, like, especially their defense is not built for speed. It's not built for warm weather. It's built for cold weather. Jared Verse, Byron Young, Brandon Fisk, I think it's Nathan Landman, whatever his name is, Carnell Lake, which, does he resemble the former Pittsburgh Steeler cornerback? I'm not sure. Sounds like it. But they've got some ball players that are tough, hard-nosed players on that defense and on offense. Have you seen Puka play? Puka could start at running back for some teams.
Yeah, no doubt.
He kind of reminds me of DJ Moore, but a better receiver.
Yeah.
And DJ is one tough SOB. And you got Devontae, who I mean, we've seen Devontae burn us years after. He's not afraid of the cold.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's drama all over the place if you care about the actual game, which I know you do. I'm not saying you don't, or anyone else that's listening to this doesn't. But honestly, I'm glad there's not like Twitter beef and stuff like that going on. Bulletin board material and all that, because to me that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, like what I mean with that is they just don't have I'm not saying they don't have a fan base. Don't come after me, Rams Twitter. But the fan base is not like some of the other teams. They're not known for being like this, dying with the team fan base like the Packers and the Bears and the Eagles and some of these fan bases. I mean, the Rams left LA for what, 20 years ish, and they were gone, and then they came back, and so like that plays into some of their fans probably got another team during that time period. LA to me has always been more of a basketball city than a football city, and that plays into it too. It's just a different vibe with them than some of these other teams. But you're talking about the weather. You're talking 45 degrees their coldest game. I mean, it's going to feel like negative. This is like a 50-degree swing for them. And the mad scientist Ben Johnson we heard today.
Yeah,
he's no heaters in practice ever this season. Just to get them ready to play in the cold. I mean, it's going to be extremely, extremely cold. I mean, it's going to have some impact on the game. But to the point we were making earlier about if the Rams peak too early. And maybe just looking for some nuggets of why the Bears could have a chance to win this game, which I do think they have a chance to win this game. They're not favored for a reason, but I would not be shocked if the Bears won this game. But you look at what has happened the last 7 weeks or so of the regular season. Obviously they just beat Carolina, a sub 500 team in the playoffs, and Carolina, it went down to the wire with them. Carolina had a chance to win that game. Basically, if you go back to when they lost to Carolina on November 30th, 31-28, I mean, that was when the Rams season started to derail a little bit. Before that, they were beaten, they beat San Francisco, they beat Seattle, they had a little bit of a run there. But then, down the stretch, after they lost to Carolina, they went 3-3. They lost to Carolina, they lost to Seattle, they lost to Atlanta, not a great team. They beat Arizona twice, a very bad team, and they beat Detroit, who, basically a 500 team. So the last 7 weeks, their wins were against Carolina, Arizona twice, and Detroit. Not exactly a murderer's row of a schedule there. So, I don't know what Rams team we're going to get. Are we going to get the team that was running people off the field earlier in the year? Or are we going to get the team that battled Carolina twice, down the stretch? If that's the team we get, the Bears absolutely have a chance. And if you get the Bears in the NFC title game, potentially against San Francisco and Chicago, a beat up San Francisco team, or you have to go out there to Seattle and you got Sam Darnold, who's played well, but I mean, Sam Darnold isn't a future Hall of Famer like Matt Stafford. One game, this team can get to the Super Bowl, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So to me, if they can get past the Rams, I don't know if I want to use the word confident, but like, man, if they go in that NFC title game, especially if you get San Francisco coming to town in a rematch without George Kittle, man, I'll feel fairly strong about their chances in that NFC title game. So a lot is going to ride on this game. I mean, this is going to be really interesting.
I fully agree. 2 things to point out about the Niners, though. They didn't have Kittle when we played them either. And freaking Jake Tongas, who was a former practice squad player of ours, dominated us. Was at one point the number 1 waiver wire pickup in all fantasy football because of his game against us. So it doesn't matter because Brock Purdy did what he wants to do against us.
Yep.
And by the way, their best defensive player, yes, I said that, not meaning Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, is going to be back. He will be back by that game. He might be back by this week. So that's future thinking.
There's still some rust, but I mean, the team is still beat up. Yeah.
Bring them to Chicago. I'm with you in that thinking. I'm just saying it's still going to be an extremely tough game. It is the one I would want. I'd prefer that over.
That was my next question, because we're going to know who it is by the time this Rams-Bears game plays. Last game of the weekend. So we're going to know if we win, if we're going to Seattle or San Francisco's coming to Chicago. So that will have been decided. Yeah.
That's going to be fun. And even just pontificating on which AFC team we might play at that point, because it'll be only down to 2 remaining at that point, will be fun for me. But I'll say this, like, the Panthers they're not a bad team.
No.
And what they do well, and both those games, mind you, were in Carolina, road games.
Mm-hmm. What
they do well is they run the freaking football. They bully you up front. And they, as their motto is, they keep pounding. And that is what we have to do this week. Because you have to imagine that Caleb can make more plays than Bryce Young. And we're not going to insult Panthers fans that might be listening and revisit that trade that happened. We're not going to do it. Most lopsided trade in NFL history. We're not going to do it.
Yeah.
But I also think our defense, especially in the playoffs, especially getting healthy again with our defensive backs, I think we're better than the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the Lions whooped us in a game that I thought we wanted to win, and they beat them. So we're right there. I'm not saying 3.5 point. I mean, it's even. I think the line last I looked was 3.5 points to the Rams, but it's right there somewhere. It's an even game. It should be a winnable game. I hope. I mean, here's a question for you. I'll tell you my thoughts after you answer yours. Would you prefer we start on offense or defense?
Ooh. I felt like in the wild card round we should start on offense. I think I would start on offense.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the offense needs to prove that they can come out hot and score right away at home, much like I felt like last week.
Yeah.
I was encouraged by what I saw in the second half from our defense this past week, but I still have some real questions that we're going to slow up this offense at all. And so I want to put points on the board so I feel better about the trajectory of the game just right away.
Right.
Because, man, I feel like, and this doesn't mean that we couldn't lose to Seattle or San Francisco if we're lucky enough to advance. Not luck's not the right word, but, if we happen to advance. I think this is the toughest game left on the NFC side right here.
Yeah.
And I just would like to have the confidence right from the start. Like, look, we scored right on them right away. The crowd's going nuts. I mean, people said it like loudest they've heard Soldier Field ever after that comeback was complete last week. You saw the videos, Adam Johns, water bottle shaking on his desk up in the press box, man. That was crazy. So I think you want to sustain that momentum. Crowd's going to be super hot. I want to see Soldier Field rocking from start to finish. And I think the way you do that is you take the ball and you score right away.
Yeah. No, I love that argument. I can't argue with it much. But I'm going to go defense. Give me defense. Okay. Think about that game, that first Packers game in Chicago. Remember that game? I don't know if you remember that game. Excuse me. That game, that kickoff, that opening kickoff, you could tell right then and there that we brought the intensity.
Mm-hmm.
And that defensive effort at that right then, we because the crowd was in it, give us a stop. Because think about it. Against a strong offensive team, what do we need? We need more possessions in the second half. So give Caleb the ball back to start the second half. Let's get a big stop at the beginning of the first half. Get that ball back. That's kind of what I want. We saw what happened against the Packers. We drove down. We looked great. Only got 3 points. And then what happened? Well, everybody's kind of settled in. Their offense drove down the field, got 7, got 7 again, got 7 again. So give me a defense when everybody's fresh with that momentum, with that crowd energy. That's what I would say. Either way, I'm excited. I think special teams, though, needs to show up from the opening kickoff. Give me a big return or a big hit, man. Get that crowd going to start that game off, and let them know they're in Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, and no penalties on these kickoffs.
Oh yeah.
Nope, no spotting them at the 40-yard line with this offense. We just can't have that. Cairo's been great kicking field goals. That's still been an issue though. We cannot let them start from the 40-yard line. We can't miss the landing zone. That just cannot happen in this game. So yeah, I mean, every play is going to matter. It's going to be a hell of a game. Like you said, we were very optimistic coming into this season, Brian. We predicted them to go 11-6 like they did. But we thought that was going to be like the 6 or 7 wild card at 11-6. We did not expect what we've had this far. It's been so fun. And goddamn, man, my just whole mindset about this team and how I feel where we're going over the next several years, I could not be higher. Like whenever this run ends, I'm still going to feel super positive because look at where this team has gone in 1 year and think about what that says about what's to come. So exciting. Finally, so exciting to be a Bears fan, man.
Absolutely. If I had any more of my narwhal, I would cheers you on that.
I still got some of mine. I did get my camera fixed, if you noticed.
Yeah, it looks good.
I literally downloaded some different software and it fixed my problem. So sorry about that, everybody, for the tech glitches, but we got it working.
Nope, nobody cares, Ryan. Nobody cares.
So we're gonna keep the show rolling as long as the Bears keep it rolling. I mean, we'll for sure be back next week, and hopefully the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that, Brian.
Yeah,
we can do it. We can do it, man.
Here.
Why not us? This thing is wide open, man, on both sides. I mean, this is one of the most wide open playoffs in how long? I mean, you don't got Patrick Mahomes. You don't got Lamar.
I agree. And here's the thing too, man. And we've talked about this on past episodes. This offseason is going to bring some changes. We're kind of up against the cap right now. We got to make some moves. There's a realistic possibility that next season's team will be without DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, Tremaine Edmonds, to name a few.
Yeah.
These guys are all key players on our team this year. Jaquan Brisker, Kevin Byard. They could maybe not be back.
Yeah. That defense is going to look way different next year. Way different. Yeah.
You look at it with Super Bowl teams or winning or losing teams, the following year, there's so much turnover, completely new roster. That's going to be us.
Yeah.
Regardless of if we make the Super Bowl. So this is our final countdown. Like this is it right here.
Yeah.
And we've got DJ Moore and DeAndre Swift on the roster right now. There's some explosive mother effers.
Yeah, make the best of it.
Exactly. Let's make the most of this. Make the most of Jaquan Brisker, who might be the most hyped defender on our team. He loves Chicago. He loves to play for the Bears, and like this could be it. So that's kind of what. That's another reason why I want to. I got the Buccaneers jersey. Another reason I want to see defense first.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get right to the point because it's going to come down to our defense versus their offense. Period.
Yeah.
At Soldier Field. Period. I believe in Iceman. He's good. Ben's good. But can we stop them? If we play the way we did in the second half last week, the answer is yes. A lot of people are forgetting we actually did play them last year.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have Devontae Adams. They didn't have Puka Nacua last year when we played. He was injured. But we beat them. You know who looked really good that game? DeAndre Swift. With a very, very similar defense. So, anyway, I'm kind of switching things up on you right now.
No, Swift ran for 5.8 yards a carry in that game last year. I just looked it up.
Yeah. He looked great. I remember that. Because I live in Western North Carolina. You know when that happened? Hurricane Helene.
Yeah, that's right.
That's when that game happened. I had to watch it from my phone in a parking lot at the gym because I couldn't be at home. I had no power. That's the Rams game last season. I'll never forget that game.
Brisker picked off Stafford in that game.
Ooh, I did not remember that.
Stafford didn't have any touchdown passes. 1 interception, passer rating of 77, 20-29 for 224 yards. Kyron Williams had a 4.9 yards per carry. But
hey, but that was like September. I mean, that was like a balmy 65 degrees.
Yeah. September 29th.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have generally felt, and especially with all the stadium talk going on and building the dome, I've generally felt this whole like bear weather idea is mostly overrated. But I think there's some games where it can have an impact, and I think that this head coach has done what he needs to do to take advantage of it with the no heaters at practice. And I think there's no way it's not going to affect the Rams. Now, they have so much talent that it might not affect them enough to matter. It'll affect them, though. They haven't played in anything close to this weather. You're talking about a 50-degree swing from their coldest game. I mean, they're not used to this, man. Stafford played in the NFC North for a long time, but still, this is a different ball game for a lot of these guys. We've been in the elements. We've played in some real cold games this year. They've done it. They know how to do it. And let's make our predictions, Brian. How you see this one going?
Well, real quick, just before I even spit out a number, if the weather assists in any way to a win, how can you not have the game with at least a retractable dome? How can you not?
That's interesting, isn't it? Because that's kind of come around now again with how this has happened this year.
Like, give me a retractable roof. That's what I've said from the beginning. If you want your cake and eat it too, retractable roof. Like, spend the money. Come on, you're billionaires, millionaires, whatever. Make it happen. Retractable roof is that's the way to go. But if we're talking right now seriously about how this might be an advantage in the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If that's actually a thing, so that's a whole nother element of this game. Yeah. If we actually win and it looks like we physically kind of, are one step ahead or dominate them, a West Coast team, all of a sudden, and there's no coincidence that the mayor this week said, "Oh yeah, we'll help you with the infrastructure, just not the stadium itself." Oh, okay. Anyway, predictions. Oh man. 23-21 Bears.
Ooh. That's pretty close to, I think last week I said 24-21. Pretty close.
Cairo coming in clutch.
Yeah. It feels like Cairo will hit at least one in this game and that it could make the difference. I like that kind of close spread like that. I'm going to say I'm going to go Bears 27-24. I'll give Cairo 2 field goals in this game, and I'll say the Rams hit 1. I'll say 27-24. Bears. There's no way in hell I'm picking against the Bears during this playoff run. So, yeah we'll say 27-24. See what happens.
Can't wait.
Should we promise anything on the show next week if the Bears pull out the win to give people a reason to tune in?
Yeah.
What should we do?
It's funny. I only have 2 more stickers remaining.
Okay.
I've given some away, dropped them at my favorite place to get beer it's in there.
Yeah.
I have had my daughter steal one. She's like, when you guys are famous, they're going to know that you're my dad.
Yeah.
Babe, we're not going to be famous, but okay. Thank you. You're sweet.
I don't know, man. There's some national sports media guys who I think we do a better job than Brian.
That might be true.
Biased, but
I mean, that might be true, but we'll leave that. We don't care about the numbers. We have fun drinking beer and hanging out with all you guys. Yeah, I mean, I think we should give something away. I mean, gosh, man, when we win,
yes,
I think it should be. I'm thinking like maybe a beanie.
Oh, okay. Kind of to go along with the cold weather. I like it.
Yes.
All right. When the Bears win, against the Rams. You tune in live to the YouTube stream next Wednesday night, and we'll give away a beanie to somebody in the live chat if we have a victory Wednesday.
You have to comment. Week. Tell us what you're drinking. It could be non-alcoholic. It could be water. You just got to comment.
Yes. And I'll do a live drawing on the show. We'll do that. Speaking of stickers, I still have a ton of them. I ordered a huge order. So Brian, I can send you some more. But I have at least one or two of people who tweeted me the picture of them listening to the show that I still need to send out because I was hoping to not make multiple trips. So I still got some. I'm waiting. So if you did that, it is on the way. I promise soon. But hey, I'll probably mail them this weekend or early next week. So if you want a free Bears Over Beers sticker, that's all you got to do. Tweet us at Bears Over Beers with a picture of you listening to the show or just a picture of like your screen in your car listening to the show, whatever, just so we can retweet it and I'll get your address and we'll send you a free sticker. It's pretty easy. I'd like to send more than the couple I have to send. I'd like to send 10 of them or more. Make me right. Give me writer's cramp.
What were the names of our people tonight? Just tell them to post their, they're obviously listening.
Carl was in the chat here.
And then Ryan, tell the people, show the people. They can pick what color beanie they want.
Yeah, let me pull up our store.
You can get a navy blue, which is awesome. Black, white looks good. I believe I thought that gray actually looked the best with our logo on it. You can get whatever you want to stay nice and toasty in this crispy weather.
Yeah, here is the Bears Over Beers beanie. So there you can see there is the black, and then we've also got on here. We've got navy.
That's a clean look.
We've got gray. Brian was talking about, and we've got a like a beige color.
I like that one too. Actually,
classic winter color there. And there's even a light blue, and that logo is stitched on there. So look, it's a $27 beanie with custom stitching. Send it to somebody free when the Bears win, and you tune in live next Wednesday night, guys. Do it. In the meantime, follow us on Twitter. I'm at Ryan Droste. That's DROSTE. Brian Orenchuk. ORENCHUK. You can find the show at Bears Over Beers as well. Would love to have you leave us a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you're subscribed here. Also on the YouTube channel. We got so many shows, going up dang near every single day here on the Second City Gridiron feed. We got Bare Bones. We got Mac and Reed. Of course, we got Bear and Balanced. Of course, we got Bill Zimmerman. All kinds of stuff. Jacob does the post-game show. We've got Making Monsters with Taylor Dahl. Endless list of great Bears content. I'm biased, of course, but this is the only Bears channel I listen to. And love the personalities, love the varying styles you get all across our channel. So support everybody. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the podcast feeds. 5 stars. All that great stuff. Follow us on the socials. And Brian, that's about all I got to say this week. Any other parting words?
Bear down.
Bear down. Let's beat LA. Let's have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you in 7 days. Take care.